Absalom, for those who may not know, was a favorite son of King David. He was smart, was dearly loved by his father, and adored by the people his father ruled. He was a beautifully handsome man with a head full of hair, envy of most ladies, and a gorgeously built body. His natural endowments of talent, beauty, and charisma, coupled with being a prince in waiting, were not in doubt to anyone that met him at the courts of his father's palace. He had a mischievous motive, which, though subtle at first, became bolder as he continued to woo the people that came to see his father. Abe had ambitions to be king in place of, and not after, his father. He went to work using everything within his reach to achieve it at all cost. It was not too long before the people knew what he really was about, as he started gathering his followers to finally expose his goal. He knew he had siblings who were qualified to be king as well, but to him, he was better than every one of them. He must force this to happen at all cost. No waiting, no approval or protocol or decorum necessary. This syndrome can be likened to riding high horses. Whether horses or men, Abe did not care. He just loved riding high. Abe loved riding, pure and simple. It did not matter to him that despite his natural endowments and his exaggerated perception of himself, he was just a prince amongst other princes, and would remain so until the father passed, and the kingmakers crowned him as king. When things did not go Abe's way, he decided to make it happen. So he got up on his high horse and galloped to his death. His beautifully preserved hair, that was cut, weighed, and publicized annually, got caught on a tree branch, and the high horse he trusted in rode off, leaving him hanging on a tree branch. This made him an easy target for an insulted general that had an axe to grind. The false sense of indomitability in riding high horses had become the Achilles heel for Abe. Riding fair and low has its merits. Good riders need good, and not necessarily high horses to be noticed. A goldfish has no hiding place. King Solomon was one of the princes when his half-brother Abe was riding high. But when the time came, he emerged as the true king. King Solomon, who was the wisest earthly king that ever lived, said, "Let others praise you." People throughout the ages continue to marvel at his wisdom, while his high horse-riding brother's life remains an object lesson. The true princes will eventually emerge, and they will not be found on high horses. So it is important to heed the age-old advice from well-meaning folks to get off your high horse and mingle with the masses.